You guys looking forward to actually getting started and playing a different opponent than yourselves?
I'm super excited. With it being my first year with Florida State, I'm just excited to get going, and I think we've prepared super well, and I think we're all just really ready to go, and I think it's just going to be great.
Yeah, no, I think we put a lot of work in the dark, and I feel like Puerto Vallarta is a great opportunity to just get out there and play the game that we know how to play, and I believe wholeheartedly in this team, and I feel like we're going to do some good things this year.
Have y'all ever been to Mexico before, even prior to that, or what is the excitement of having the experience crossing the border and playing softball there?
I have personally been to Puerto Vallarta with my last school. It's a really cool experience, but I think just being with this group, we're so connected. I think we're going to make so many memories on the field. I think it's just going to be really cool to open up our season somewhere else and make memories that are just going to start the 2025.
If you ever gave your new teammates recommendations or fun places or fun spots, what are some of the things they're going to be on the lookout for?
Well, you really don't leave the place a whole lot, but just walking around the resort and everything, and kind of just experiencing what it's like going to the field. Our logo, the FS, will be there, so it'll be really cool to see that.
I guess kind of following up on that, from a tournament standpoint, how beneficial is it to have already been there and know what to expect when you get there?
Yeah, it's going to be beneficial. We're obviously going to play at a lot of places that aren't, John Graff Field, so I think it really won't be too bad for the team because I think we're just so competitive and ready to go. But I think it's just going to be such a cool experience, and as much information that I can give, I'll give.
Why was this place appealing to you when you hit the transfer portal? You're obviously an experienced collegiate player. You played here with the opposition. What was it about FSU that made it fit for you?
Well, being in the other dugout, getting to watch, I would say this magic that Florida State has. It's just such a cool experience to be here, especially as the opposing team. But Florida State just gave me so many great things. That's why I wanted to come here. I love the atmosphere. I have some of my best friends that I'm going to have for the rest of my life, and I think everything about Florida State, the coaches, the people, is really just what I wanted for my last year of college.
Lonnie's affinity for multi-purpose players who can go in the circle, players who can play positions, was that appealing to you? And also, what position do you think you contribute at the most outside the circle?
Absolutely. There's, like you said, there's not very many people out there that, play multiple positions, and I think the more we can promote that, the better. I think this sport can handle it. I'm really hoping just to contribute anywhere, whether it's in the middle infield, in the circle, at the plate. I want to help Team 42 win a national championship, and however she needs me is however I'm going to do it. So,
do you want to know on a given day, hey, I'm at this position, or is it just cool, hey, whatever coach says I need?
Coach and the whole staff is really huge on communication, and so I'm sure on a day-to-day basis we'll communicate that, but like I said, I want the win. I want to go home. I want to finish my career with a national championship, and so wherever that is, I'm going to be happy as long as I have that ring on my finger.
Isa, how has this been different for you going into this year versus the preseason leading up to last year?
It hasn't really been as different. I would say the vibes of Team 42 has definitely been different to where Team 41 was. But I honestly feel like this team is so committed and so all in to our craft, to what we do, our culture that we create here. So I feel like just seeing that has been new. But other than that, I feel like, this is Florida State softball. This is what we do, and this is how we handle things, and this is, our home. So, yeah.
What has been the biggest change in the vibe?
I feel like connection. We are always on that. Coach is always about connection. I feel like being at peace, that's our motto this year. And so we're just at peace every single night with what we do, whether we gave, 110%, 90% that day, everything that we can give. We're at peace going to bed knowing that we gave it all. That way, we can be there at the end with the national championship.
Or Annabelle, how beneficial is it to you guys? I know you've already talked about going down to Puerto Vallarta, but to take on a program like Oklahoma State as your first game of the season, is that going to really set the tone for you guys?
I think so. I think OSU is a great team and a great place to start with. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to go out and compete and to really see that what we can do with them, because I think they are a really great team.
Yeah, I would agree. Coach is super big on let's learning. Day by day, we want to get all the way to June, and so I think starting with Oklahoma State, who's potentially, a World Series contender, I think is great, and then we're going to see where we're at and how we can get better, and hopefully we'll see them again.
So you guys went 1 for 3 in the Clearwater tournament last year. What are your hopes going into it this year?
Just kind of going with a new clean slate. You know, you can't really do anything about the past, and you know, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted. But going into Puerto Vallarta and Clearwater right after, you know, just doing what Team 42 can do. A new identity, of course. So just seeing what we can handle, what we can control, and just go from there.
What was the biggest thing that you worked on in the off season?
I would say just being consistent. There was times last year where I'd fall off, hop back on. So just being consistent with my performance and my ability. But yeah.
Anything else? Perfect.